Let's go to the list, check. I'm bad to my kids, bet. Let's dive in that topic. What would happen if I didn't stop it? What would happen if I didn't drop it? Mr. Saiyan was your only option. You can shovel like me with the chopsticks. Power leveling up as the clock ticks. Thought you were flying to me? My whip is the Nimbus and I'm in the cockpit. Tell me, when did you die for your team? I'm battling beasts but you're out in the tropics. What if I'm best but I want him at best? And you get mad cause I live for the test. You only grow when you stay on the edge. I'm on these hoes to the day that I'm dead. They bought me up, I'm okay on the can. I got tunnel vision, I see straight to the end. I put in work so you can play with your friends. And I'm in the dirt instead of shaking your head. You can let me do me, and you can do you. I'll stay cooking these fools while you're cooking your food. I am harder to kill me cause you couldn't help. If you wanted something done, then do it yourself.
Okay, hello, this is Anime First Wolf and this is my first what if video. So in this what if is going to be what if Deku had earthbending. What if Deku was an earthbender, and I took inspiration from Avatar of Korra, the anime. So in this universe, the MHA in this world, the MHA universe is going to be descendants of the Avatar universe, as a lot of subbending cultures, a lot of subbending started to evolve. A lot of subbending started to appear out of nowhere, and different people had so many different subbending that eventually evolved into quirks. And due to the disturbance of the spiritual energy in bending, Vatu was released as he reincarnated himself, or he found a vestige in All for One, as Rava, the light spirit, seeing that Vatu has been released and he has already reincarnated, he has already chosen a vestige, or a hostile or hostage. Sorry, not hostage, but like a vestige for him to stay with. He decides he wants to keep close tabs on Vatu and reincarnates himself into All for One's brother. Yeah, so in this one, All for One is going to All One for All and All for One is going to be the Avatar states. Or it's going to be the practically evil Avatar versus good Avatar. Yeah, evil Avatar versus good Avatar. So we skip to All Might. So if you haven't already caught my drift, All for One's power is also going to contain the ability to bend the four most common elements: water, air, earth, and fire. Yes. So that's what One for All is going to contain. So throughout the years, the bending has started. The bending has evolved, and the evil Avatar is also able to bend those elements. All for One is also able to bend those elements, making him stronger. As he still also has the ability to possess or to take other people's quirks, but his bending ability isn't that strong. It's not as strong as the good Avatar or Rava's vestiges. So we skip to All Might, as he is in the infirmary room, as we hear a nurse say, "Mr. Toshinori, these are your two twins." These are your two twins. As All Might is now like, "Oh, I'm so happy, I can't believe I'm a father. I'm going to name you Mako and Bolin." Yes, as I am going with that drift. So Deku is going to have a brother named Mako, and so let me explain what is really happening with Deku and Mako. They're going to have a split avatar state. It's not going like they're going to have split avatar states, like due to some genetic traits passed down. I know it doesn't quite make sense, but just compensate, please. Yeah. So that's practically what's going to happen, as Mako is going to have the ability of fire and air, as Bolin is going to have the ability of earth and water, but the earth and water. I'll be skipped to 4 years later, or let's just say about when they entered preschool. Marco and Berlin also have made two new friends as they're in their own personal friend group. As one of them is Katsuki Bakugo, because if you didn't know this, Katsuki is a gender neutral name as Momo Yarirozu. So they're in their own little friend group. As Bakugo comes saying that she has a quirk, as also Momo says that she has a creation quirk. As you know, they're all falling around as Bakugo says, Bolin, Mako, when is your quirk going to arrive? As Bolin just smirks and says that their quirks are going to arrive soon and they're going to be extremely powerful. As you know, just being kids and having fun. As I'm going to say when villains attack, about when Mako and Bolin had just turned 4, or when they were like 2 months into turning 4, and they still haven't gotten the quirk yet. Villains attack the schools. Them seeing that all my sons are in the school, that it'll be very easy to use them as hostages and get some good money. Yes. So as I'm just going to say that there are two. One has the ability to shoot concentrated beams out of their hands, like a Kamehameha. It's practically something like that, but not nearly as strong. As the second one has the ability to how Frieza can shoot little lasers from his palms or his fingertips. That's the second bandit, or the second villain's quirk. As they take the school like as a hostage, and they're not like, stay back or else we're going to kill everyone in here. As Bakugo, being the cocky person that she is, she tries to attack one of the villains, or one of the villains, the one with the Kamehameha sort of quirk, throws a beam at or shoots a beam at Katsuki. Izuku, seeing this, out of nowhere, just stomps his feet, just pushes his hands to the ground as the earth rises up and protects Katsuki. Although he's a beginner, so it's not going to be. The earth's barrier is going to break because he is a beginner, but he was still able to protect Katsuki. As Izuku's eyes are actually glowing. As Katsuki turns back to see what happened, as she's now like, Izuku, your eyes are glowing, but Izuku is in a semi or half of the avatar state. As he uses earth to trap the Kamehameha guy, like kind of making a swamp pit or a quicksand pit under him. Yeah, he makes a quicksand pit under him. As Mako, seeing this, is like, what's happening? What's wrong with my brother? As Momo, just playing with the drift, decides to make, she makes like a small stick, or like a metal staff, or a small metal staff, as she starts hitting the Frieza, the laser tip and the laser fingers guys. As he's about to strike Momo, Mako, seeing this, he shoots his hands out as fire comes out, as he is also in a semi-avatar state, as they do something that they will not be able to do for a while, which is they use sub-bending, as Mako uses lightning bending to tranquilize, or Mako uses sub-bending to tranquilize or like stun the guy, as Bolin uses metal bending to encase the guy with metal, as he's kind of using rocks and throwing it at him. As All Might is able to when All Might bursts into the room, saying, "I am no need to fear," as he sees his son's eyes glowing. As when his sons see All Might, the eyes quickly stop glowing. As All Might takes care of the rest. As Mako and Bolin go to the infirmary or go to the quirk doctor, as the quirk doctor says, "Well, All Might, it seems that your sons have kind of inherited half of your power. As your sons have inherited different halves of your power. As from what the public knows, that All Might can manipulate or bend the 4 common elements: fire, water, air, and earth. That's what the public knows. But one for all, or the avatars or avatar helpers know the truth behind the avatar state. As they say that your quirk has passed down to your sons, as one of your sons has the ability to control earth and water, as the other son has the ability to control fire and air. But it seems like the water part for your son doesn't really come out until in dire purposes. As also the same thing goes for the air part for your other son. All my being surprised with this, because what the doctor in All for One terms, or the avatar state terms, what the doctor is practically saying is that the avatar state has split into your sons, as All Might quickly calls up Gran Torino, because we all know All Might is a bad teacher, or a semi-bad teacher. He's a good motivator, but like when it comes to like practical use, he's quite a bad teacher. No offense. As he calls Gran Torino to help him out train his son, as we have a time skip to about when they're 15 or 14. I'm not quite sure when the UA entrance exam happened, or what age they were when it happened, but I'm just gonna say 14 because it just feels more right. As by that time, Mako and Bolin have already mastered the basic elements, which is fire and earth. As Mako has mastered earth, so he hasn't necessarily mastered it, but he has upgraded it to the level where he can turn his flames blue, which is a huge step for firebending, because I believe that it was only Azula who had blue flames in Avatar. As Bolin has leveled up his earth skills a lot, as he is able to manipulate or bend the ground way easier. As for the sub-bending, they have I'm introducing something new. Mako has started to work on smoke sub-bending, as I just thought it would be an interesting concept, because I wanted Mako and Bolin to have equal sub-bendings. As fire, I'm just going to say that fire has a ancient sub-bending, which is smoke bending. As he has kind of discovered smoke bending, has been trying his best to work on it. As Bolin has also discovered metal bending, as he is also trying his best to work on it. As for his two friends, Momo and Katsuki, they train with Bolin and Mako from time to time, as they are intensely more powerful than their original counterparts. As Momo is able to create bigger stuff without showing much of her skin, without showing a lot of her skin. As Bakugo is also able to create more concentrated blast of explosion. So this means Momo's costume is going to be a bit less revealing, because because she's trained. I'm not sure if Momo trained in canon. I'm just going to say that she didn't train. Sorry for the Momo fan, but I'm just going to say that she didn't train. As in this one, her costume is less revealing because she doesn't need to she doesn't need that much skin anymore to create stuff. As yeah, so they seem they're in an entirely different school. When the teacher comes in, he says, please fill in these forms to see what you all are going to be in the future. As he says, oh, 4 of you want to go to UA. Katsuki, Bakugo, Momo Yarozu, and Mako and Bolin, and Yagi. As the class are like, yeah, they could definitely do it. Mako and Bolin are even All Might's sons. Or sons. They could definitely be the next #1 hero. As during the 10 months period, Mako and Bolin have been trying. They've been trying their absolute best to try and make the air and water bending come out, but it's not really working. Because, like I said, it will only come out in dire situations, like do or die situations. But they don't know this. So the 10 months have passed with them greatly improving their sub bending, as Bolin and Mako aren't near as close to mastering their smoke and Bolin and Mako haven't mastered their sub bending, their smoke and metal bending, but it's like for Bolin, his sub bending skill is at the level of Wing and Wei, the metal bending twins. As Mako, his smoke bending is actually very good for someone who is practically just inventing it, or someone who hasn't been taught how to do it. So for this entrance exam, as Bolin and Mako are heading into the arena, they hear 2 voices behind them. Wait up, guys! As Mako and Bolin turn back to see Katsuki and Momo running to catch up with them. As Bolin says, Katsuki, Momo, what's up? Like, how have you guys been? I haven't seen you guys for like 10 months. As Katsuki and Momo said, I know, we've been training together, as we didn't want you guys to get ahead of us. But Mako and Bolin smirk and say we've also been training. So they enter. Momo obviously being the smartest one in the group gets first, as Katsuki getting second, as Katsuki and Momo actually study during this time period. Like, they studied way more than Bolin and Mako did. Bolin and Mako studied, but it wasn't to the greatest extent that Momo and Katsuki studied, because they were more focused on trying to unlock their water and air bending, which I still said only comes out in dire situations. As Mako and Bolin actually tied for 3rd place, so the 4th position is actually open. The 3rd position is open because the 4th position is open. Sorry, because what they want to do is that the person who gets the highest between the 2 twins, the person who gets the highest overall points in the exam, is the one that's going to become 3rd, and the one who doesn't get the one who loses is going to become 4th. As Mako and Bolin seeing this, and now like, we're definitely going to do this. Mako and Bolin said that Bolin says that I'm definitely going to beat you, bro. As Mako says in your dreams, Bolin, we all know that I'm the strongest. As that causes Bolin and Mako to lead into a brotherly argument. As Bakugo and Momo are just laughing from a distance, and they say that they're really cute when they argue. As Bakugo says, I'm sorry, Katsuki says, yeah, I know, right? So we skip to the heroes versus robots. Either still makes his intrusion, but since Bolin, which is Izuku, isn't really doing anything or isn't even tapping his feet. Sorry if you heard that. Isn't even really tapping his feet. He doesn't Ida has no reason to chew out Izuku or Bolin in this what if. So the only thing he points out was I'm disappointed in new stuff. As Bolin says, please can you keep quiet, like he was just about to explain it. As Ida seeing the errors of his ways, grudgingly but acceptingly goes to sit down. Goes to sit down. As during the entrance exam, Bolin and Mako are just destroying robots left and right. As Mako is kind of making torches or plasma. If you know what plasma is, or like imagine a concentrated fire, like out from concentrated fire from your face, or like spreading upwards. Concentrated fire, yeah. It's practically kind of like slice boom. Mako is practically using concentrated fire to slice through the 0 pointers, as Bolin is just using metal bending to either cripple them to make them easier to crush with earth, or practically if it's a 1 pointer, which are weaker and have way more mental capacity, he just instantly crushes it. As Bolin and Mako had reached the 150s. As Bolin had reached 150 and Mako had reached 140, but they were in different arenas, so they weren't going to tell each other that. As in Mako's head, he was probably like, I bet I've gotten twice as much as Bolin, which was very hilarious because Bolin is actually ahead of Mako. And in Bolin's head, Bolin is saying that I bet I've gotten twice as much as Mako. As Bolin and Mako are going to chill just because they didn't want to get all the robots and destroy anybody's chances of going to UA. As like they're just relaxing when they hear heavy footsteps, or in Bolin's case, he feels vibrations. It's not really cause seismic sense. It's kind of like just able to like feel vibrations a lot better. Yeah, it's just able to feel vibrations a lot better. Sorry if you heard that noise. Yeah. As in, Katsuki is in the same arena as Mako, as Bolin is in the same arena as Momo. So instead of the 0 pointer getting Uchako, it actually gets Momo for Bolin, and instead of it getting in Mako's arena, it actually gets Katsuki. It actually gets Katsuki in Mako's arena. So Bolin, when they hear a cry for help, they're like they know their best friend's voices, so they're definitely like Bolin says Momo as Mako says Katsuki, as they quickly run, as Bolin is kind of surfing on the earth, as Bolin is using flames to kind of lift him up as he's kind of gliding. if you know what I mean, if you can make a represent. It's kind of how Bakugo flies. But instead of making explosions from one to another hand constantly, he makes Bolin, and what Mako is doing is that he's just constantly pushing out fire from his hands and his legs, which actually burns his shoes. As for what Bolin is about to do, he kind of if you've ever watched the Kovira scene, as when Bolin changes sides because of Oppo, he kind of said he makes the foot of the giant mecha turn on lava. Instead of Bolin turning on lava, he actually makes the ground turn into quicksand, slowing the Zero Pointer's movements. As for Mako, he uses smoke bending to kind of throw off the Zero Pointer's vision, or Zero Pointer's sensors. Sorry guys, but that would be the what if. That would be the end for this what if. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you want. If you had any problems with this video, if you want me to change anything, please tell me in the comments. Thank you very much and have a nice day.